So it's been like a while since I've delved into the world of Thomas the Tank Engine on this channel, at least in terms of videos, and I was actually searching for a certain box full of Thomas and Friends track that I had since I was a kid. I've been doing the search for quite a while now, and I've failed at every attempt I got the chance to do, and well, just tonight I actually found the lot of track. Turns out it was stored in a different box than the one I remembered them being stored in, because I remember the last time the track lot was stored in like a black plastic tub. I saw that when I was searching tonight, it was just empty. I went into another room which I have some of my stuff stored in there, and I found this Amazon box which contained the track I've been oh so looking for so long. There are some other random bits and bobs also from childhood that I can vividly remember that are in here. I also got some other stuff out as well, including the remains of this Disney Cars poster I had since I was like, I don't know, 10 in 2019. I did like a video on this thing like years ago. It's not available to watch now and it was horrible, but yeah, I did a video on this, and it seems like half of it. Oh no, was it really that big? Huh. Okay, I thought it was a bit bigger, but I did take some stuff off. I'm not sure why I take. Oh, I have that one still. Same for that one. I still have Jackson Storm. I've lost Lee Revkin since. Same with Sir Nigel Gearsley. This fan is annoying. I've also lost Nigel Gearsley, I think. I've vandalized all my remaining Grand Prix Light McQueens. I still have that Triple Dent Gum Racer. I might still have Shannon Spokes, but I broke her headset. Anyways, that's that. Also some bits and bobs like some TrackMaster stuff I recovered from a separate box, which had a few of them stored. Pretty sure this one doesn't have batteries. I don't think I have batteries for these guys anymore. Could be wrong. This take-along thingy. I think I've showed that thing on a TikTok once. And some clay Disney car styled vehicles I made when I was in primary. Surprised I actually archived these. And this bag for like a hobby vendor I got stuff from 2 years ago at a train show in Showgrounds, Melbourne Showgrounds. They had a pretty sick Britannia 462 model there, so I bought it. I also got some replicas of the troublesome trucks. This was the very first one I made, and then the second one turned out to be much more cleaner. Well, this is one of the later ones. This one here used to have a face with the eyes on there. But I'm not gonna entirely focus on the other stuff, and I'm just gonna focus on this instead. So what I might do is assemble the thing, and if I can, record like some trains running on whatever layout I construct from this chunk of like track that I hadn't touched in like over like 2-3 years. So yeah, I'll be back with some sort of layout complete, I guess. So I actually did a layout, and it's pretty simple, not too complex or crowded. Maybe in the future, if I get more tracks of this style right here, which shouldn't be too hard to find, given that this track was produced for a very long time and I believe it's still in production. I don't remember, but once I do get more of this type of track, I might do a huger layout to accommodate more pieces of rolling stock. But I'll have to stick with this for now. Let's move on to the trains I got. So here we have this JRS E233 series, a multiple unit train. I have definitely ridden or at least seen some of these trains in person in when I was staying in Tokyo for a week in 2023, almost 2 years ago now. Definitely a nostalgia site for me, and it was actually a thing I actually bought from Japan. I purchased this from a gift shop for the Saitama Railway Museum, which you should definitely check out when you do go to Japan and are in the like Saitama area. And here's this C57 class steam locomotive, C57-135, which is also purchased from the same gift shop as this one. And C57-135 is an actual engine that exists and is at the museum's turntable. I was able to take some pics of the engine when I was there. I might edit them in post-production. Here we have a C12, which is also from the same gift shop as I mentioned. And here we have something I got from Disneyland Tokyo, Mississippi, which is from a ride at Tokyo Disneyland called the Western Riverside Railroad. My personal favorite ride from the otherwise mid-empire that is Disney World. For the sole fact that the miniature engines on there are actually operated by steam and not diesel-powered steam outlines you see in most Disney parks. I should mention the wheels on this, the driving wheels are actually sourced from a Thomas that I had, and I just put them on here as a swap out. And the Thomas now looks like this. So here's something for you to look at, Thomas fans. Didn't mean to piss you off, but yeah. Oh, it was also my sole Plarail Thomas, so it's not like I can just grab out another one that I have. I literally only have one, which is this one, but yeah, I swapped out the wheels for some reason. I don't remember why I did that. And here's the tender. There was also a third car, which is a carriage. I still have that carriage, I just didn't bother to bring it out. I also have one of the troublesome trucks I showed earlier. I should also bring out some other non-steam trains I have in Plarail form. So, of course, I have the E233 series. I also have the Shinkansen. I'm not entirely sure what Shinkansen type this is, but one thing I do know about this Plarail model is that it came in a 3-car formation. The motor car's since gone missing before we moved houses like in 2019. This one was in stores from memory in 2018, which was, I believe, the very last year we ever saw Plarail releases over here in Australia before they pulled the plug on all that. So this was one of the last times we Aussies got to get Plarail stuff before we had to resort to eBay or any other online sites that sells them. Pretty lucky to get this one until I lost the motor car, but I still have the carriages, the trailing carriages, so I could like a weird locomotive hold set where a separate engine pulls these carriages. Sort of like the V-Line H sets where they were originally electric multiple unit trains but converted to locomotive hold carriages and hauled by diesels. Speaking of multiple unit trains, here we have this Plarail 40th anniversary Golden N series Shinkansen, or N7, I can't remember. But this one doesn't work anymore because much of its moving parts have gone. It was pretty much like that when I got it, and I removed some more stuff. I do hope one day I could replace the entire motor to make it work again, but as it stands, it'll just remain as a display piece. Sad, but it does look cool, I guess. I added some detailings here and there to make it look more fashionable, I guess. I'm not sure if it ruins it too much. I hope you guys don't mind that. Ooh, jeez. And of course, here's the Gordon that I showed earlier. This one's been customized, albeit rather poorly, with a black footplate because I didn't like how the official Thomas designs had the white ones. Different eyebrows, painted buffers and coupling hook. Blacks between the driving wheel spokes, silver outline. Not much to add about this Gordon, other than the fact it's missing its tender, and I had this one since childhood. I think I'll just put these aside now and give the C57 locomotive a bit of a spin. So here it is going up to the elevated section. Oh, yeah, this is the problem with these Plarail trains. They don't cope well with the competitive track system. Let's see if they can manage to go up again and not fail like last time. Why do I have expectations? Oh, another problem is the fact the engine's powered by its tender, so, how can I put it? There is less control for the engine itself when it goes on curves like this because there's no power in it and it gets shoved and forced by the tender, which causes it to just plunge off. It's a very poor guide for the powered vehicle. At the back, let's try one more time. It's not gonna make it out without me having to handle it. Yeah, well, it's doing pretty poorly on that section. I'm gonna just flip this one around and take it on a bit of a detour. towards this outer circle line I have. We just set all tracks appropriately. Let's give this a run on this loop. Oh, even that fails. Maybe when I used the blue track from Plarail, this would have been fine. There it is, passing the C12. And it's going to attempt the bridge section again. And massively fail. I did not stand corrected, I was correct. Okay, I think that's enough for the C57. It's a pretty poor runner on this sort of track, and is unironically my favorite model of the bunch. Let's give the E233 set a spin. Now, before I set it off, I should mention, this train has a triple speed feature, unlike most of the other trains here. Basically off, regular on, and then high speed, which is slightly faster, but not too fast. In fact, it kind of looks like normal speed to me. I'm on camera focus. Oh, would you look at that? The train struggles to climb up the gradient because of its long consist. Then again, the trains for this type of track had more distorted, shorter pieces of rolling stock. The camera will focus. Shove some of the sidelined things away. I just give it a hand. I think it might be the fact that there's terrible traction on these rails. Yeah, possibly. Basically, the car lengths and traction are a problem. Oh! This is turning into a disaster already, this video. How about just the motor car itself? I wonder how that can cope. I just attach the wagons, well, carriages away. Let's get this one on its own. Okay, not bad. Okay, it works best without the carriages. The camera won't focus. Alright, got the focus back somehow. There we go. Although it does feel weird knowing that it's a multiple unit car running on its own, even though it's usually permanently attached to its own set. But I think we'll let that pass, because it is a toy after all for children who just love to mix match things. They have, especially with toy train consists. Let's just sideline it and siding. Let's give Mississippi a go. I'm not sure how well it will perform, because as we saw, vehicles with extra wagons attached can have problems. Oh, it struggled a little bit, but it manages to make it up okay. Well, not at the downhill, because the tender is falling aside. Yeah, the tender. I think the fact the space between the back end and the tender is so long makes it just a pain in the back for it. Let's run it without its tender. I think this is my fastest steam engine I have in Plarail. Mississippi has deteriorated a little bit. Some of the paint jobs I did myself on it have started to show their age. You can see some of the original blue smoke box color underneath the painted sections I did. I think I might have to restore this thing one day, because it just looks like it's deteriorating, cosmetically at least. Yeah. Let me just put the camera down real quick and get a real bottom one shot. That's not the proper term, but whatever, that'll do. Let's have one more. And then I'll stop the locomotive. Let me just reattach its tender. There we go. And I'll put it back in the siding. Now let's run the C12 locomotive. Let's attach the wagon. Excuse me. Let's attach the wagon to it, because the wagon is meant for this type of track. Pretty sure it'll do fine. Oh yeah, the C12 is also the slowest loco I have. Not sure why that's the case. I tried swapping out the batteries for it once, and it just never improved in speed. It doesn't seem to matter though, because it does make it up okay. It makes it down okay. I don't know what causes it to slow down like this. Can anyone send in any suggestions they may have to this as to why this thing is so damn slow? It's a bit irritating. Would have been fine if this was a model of a shunting loco, which they usually go this slow, but C12s usually go faster than that, in real life at least. Let's keep the elevated section. I'll give it a rest for now. I think I can actually just maneuver on the track to the siding. They're just like that. So, that was the demonstration run of the Plarail trains on the layout. This was somewhat disastrous, especially knowing that tended powered engines can't traverse any of the curves and gradients, neither can things with very long trailing wagons behind it. But it does work best with slow-moving locos with small wagons behind them. But the disastrous show part of the video wasn't really the main purpose of it being created. It was just made for nostalgia purposes, to relive the memories of me actually playing with this track as a kid, and all the actual TrackMaster 2 engines on them as well. I really don't have much, at least AAAs anymore for this stuff, so I couldn't run any of it. Because I really miss playing with this stuff, man. It was so nostalgic and nice to go back to this pile of track that I was searching so long for and reliving all those memories. It was genuinely quite nice. Maybe in a separate video I might do a run of some of these trains on the blue track, and maybe get some of the newer TrackMaster stuff working again and run them along as well. Then again, I have very limited Plarail tracks on the layout for the Plarail. May not be as good as this one, but it'll still be something. Anyways, I think it's this part of the video where I just sign off and say goodbye to your asses. Goodbye.